Pakistan has forgotten what fun feels like. Yes, their men's cricket team just won a test against England, but here's what's happened. They lost to England in the first test by a landslide margin. They decided to change everything up for the second, barring the pitch. Went in with the same track that was bound to dry up and tire out, and let go of all of their specialists, batters and fast bowlers, packed in the spinners in the ranks and won the second test by 152 runs. So the management now feels they need to run the cricket, not the men they appointed after so many interviews and near selections and heartbreaks. This is what coach of the test format, Jason Gillespie, truly feels. He was roped in 6 months ago when Pakistan cricket was undergoing a massive turmoil and they were trying to overhaul every aspect of cricket administration, from the management, the selectors, captain, and such was the change that was happening. Gillespie and Gary Kirsten were brought on board. But Gillespie feels less like a coach now, and more like a match strategist.
I'm now just the coach on match day strategy, so I keep out of things and just focus on the players and getting them ready for cricket. It's not for me to talk about. I'll let the selectors do their job, and we'll just go out there and play the best cricket we can possibly play.
Now, Gillespie was brought on board with the idea of change, of spearheading that change. He was even part of that connection camp where top brass sat to hash out for the way forward for Pakistan cricket to get back to its glory days. That happened just last month. Of course, what came out of that Connect camp was Babar Azam getting out in a huff and announcing his retirement, that he was relinquishing his captaincy. There has been no sense of status quo in Pakistan cricket, and just when you think there is one, come the next juicy bit of news that a coach and a captain of a cricket team are not being asked, or not being allowed even, to make the selections for the team that will play a test. That job is now suddenly PCB management and selection committees. So says Gillespie.
The PCB came out and made some changes after that test match. It was decided that a new selection panel would come in and they would be making decisions. So I was not involved in the decision-making. I was just there.
PCB obviously think they know best. They needed someone to fill in that position as coach, someone who can get along with the players, someone who can manage the team and their schedules, and they'll take the important calls that need to be taken, like who will be the playing 11, who will take the field against England. So are the ones who are thinking heads taking the call instead of the coach and the captain? Who are they? Just 2 weeks ago, in fact, just when they succumbed to that first test loss to England, PCB announced a brand new selection panel. They announced Aleem Dar, a former umpire, to be part of that selection panel, Aqib Javed, of course, and Azhar Ali. Now, these were set to join Asad Shafiq and analyst Hassan Chima. This was the new set of heads who would be the selection panel. This change, of course, came in 10 days after Mohammad Yusuf decided to resign from that panel. No head of the committee has been named since 2021. And get this, this selection makes it 26 new selectors for the Pakistan cricket team, having done the rounds since August 2021. In fact, it says that everyone in that selection meeting and that panel, which includes the captain and coach, have a vote. But clearly, Jason Gillespie has trounced all of that with his statement ahead of the third test in Rawalpindi. So you can imagine the situation Gillespie finds himself in. He did not sign up for this. In fact, his statement only reiterated what we already know Pakistan to do. Any setback means they try to completely rejig everything, and if miraculously something comes off or works, then they will only focus on repeating that consistently, without looking at the other factors that are needed, are necessary in making cricket teams run successful consistently. Gillespie clearly is gaining sympathy, more so if not already. In fact, just 2 days ago, a video of him picking up empty bottles strewn all over the ground by Pakistan players in Rawalpindi after a net session went viral. While the Aussie was praised for his mindful act, Pakistan players were heavily trolled. Well, looks like Gillespie is trying to keep himself busy considering the primary job he's been called up for seems to have been outsourced. But jokes apart, there is some good news though. Pakistan did have a decent day on the field on day one in that deciding test. They successfully put England on the back foot, at least at the start, thanks to their spinners running riot.
First Post decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on First Post.